Well, what's up, everybody? Fatty Matty here, and I got another video today. Today is another unboxing video. So just don't pay attention to the camera and the microphone in my way, because we're gonna be switching perspectives here. So I just wanted to let you guys know if this is another unboxing. We're gonna switch over, and I'm gonna show you what we're dealing with today. So let's do that now. All right. So as you can see from here. Today I am going to do the unboxing of the Elgato Facecam, premium HD full HD webcam, low latency, 1080p, 60 FPS. It's got an Elgato, what they call an Elgato Primes lens, and it's uncompressed video. So this guy is quite expensive. It's 200 bucks, and it's kind of one of those things where at this price point you probably be better off spending your money on an actual camera. But if you're like me, I don't have the room for an actual camera, and I don't have another capture source, so you need another capture card for a DSL, or not a whatever they call them, an actual camera, right? Anyway, this is what the box looks like. We're gonna go ahead and just pop it open here. So the reason I bought this is because I have currently right now I'm using the Razer Kiyo, not the Pro, just the Razer Kiyo, and it's a decent camera, but it's not that great. So you got an instruction book, quick start guide, or whatever it is. Shows you a little bit of the setup. It is a USB-C that disconnects from the back of it, so that's nice, to a USB-A full-size USB, and there's that. So here we're gonna have probably the cable. So there's the cable, as you can see, USB 3.0 on one side, USB-C on the other. So that looks like a fairly lengthy cable. So should be good there with the length. Comes with some kind of warranty or something. I don't know what this is. It's just information that you need for stuff. And then we have the actual camera. So this thing is not very heavy. I can tell you that much. Nothing else in the box. Got the Elgato symbol. And here's the camera itself. So as you can see, it's not super big in comparison. There's a mouse to kind of compare. It is, a little bit thicker this way than a lot of them, but my Razer Kiyo is really tall because it's a circle. So keep that in mind. It does have a privacy screen, which is kind of nice. So there's the lens. As you can see, I think this just pops on and off. It only goes in one way, and there's these little clips. Actually, you can see them right there. There's a little clip right there. It just clips into the top of it. So it does take a little bit of force to get it out. USB-C on the back, right? And then it's got your traditional style mount that will go on your monitor. I like this. This is fairly low profile, so if you have a small bezel like I do, basically I have none on the top. My camera currently actually covers up part of my real estate on my screen, and a lot of times in certain games there'll be an interface on top that it covers up, and I don't like that. But I'm actually going to be mounting this different, so I'm going to be using the the actual camera mount on it. So it does have a regular 1/4 inch mount, so that you can mount it on just a regular thing, just like that, just a regular camera tripod or whatever have you. So that's gonna be it basically for the unboxing, guys. I am gonna do a comparison video of this camera, and I'll show you, we're gonna switch and I'll show you why I hate the Kiyo. So I'm gonna switch over. Oh, it actually stayed. That's impressive. Normally it doesn't. So usually, let me move this out of the way. My camera, anytime I switch scenes, I turn it off, it'll automatically change itself. So let's see if I go to just like my PC thing and then I come back to this. It's not doing it. That's so weird. Normally it gets really dark. If you've watched any of my streams, you can see if I switch sources, it'll turn off and then it gets really dark. I have to go in and manually change the settings on it, which I always do no matter what. Every time I turn on my computer, I have to redo the settings on the camera, and it's so annoying to get it to look decent. You can see I got a huge over exposure spot on the top of my head. The nice thing about the Elgato camera is it saves the settings directly to this, so anytime you turn your computer off or you just take it and go to a different computer, it's going to save your settings in the camera itself. That's something I think all webcams should have. But keep in mind, again, this is a $200 webcam, and it is just a webcam. It does have a little bit bigger lens and stuff in it, but we're going to do a comparison video here in a little bit, and I'm going to actually compare it to the Razer Kiyo and my Logitech C920, which was doing the unboxing of this. They're not in the same price point as this camera, but they are webcams that I feel people would be fairly enticed to buy just because of who they're made by. So Logitech and Razer being the other one. So that'll be in the rest of the video. I am going to go ahead and just end this portion of it, and then when I get them all hooked up on my screen, we're just going to do a straight up like after settings and before settings, and that way you guys can see the difference in them. So I'll see you in that transition here in a little bit. Alright guys, so here's the other half of this video. As you can see from this camera, I am currently using the Elgato Facecam right now. This is stock out of the box settings, and I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with the quality of this camera. It looks pretty dang phenomenal. It's impressive, I'll say that for it. So I mean, you can tell by, you know, how it's actually quite a bit wider than, it's got a wider field of view than the other cameras. The color looks pretty dang good. You can see there's some shadowing down here, and this shirt is really blue. I mean, it looks really good. Everything looks really good. Pay no attention to the junk over here. That's just some stuff. Nintendo and some other stuff. Anyway, so we're gonna switch. So this is the Elgato Facecam out of the box settings, okay? And we're gonna switch over. This is the Razer Kiyo out of the box settings. You can see it's got a lot narrower field of view. It doesn't go as far over to the right, or yeah, to your right, my left. And you can see it's got autofocus on right now. And it's if I put stuff in front of it, it's gonna really hunt for me. Definitely with this camera, if you have this camera, turn autofocus off, make it one focus, because it'll constantly sit there and hunt really bad, especially in a low light situation. Keep in mind, I got my main light on in my room, and then I got my Elgato key light on as well. So there's a lot of light in this room. Okay. So Elgato, it looks pretty good. Colors are pretty good. Have a little bit of overexposure. Got a little bit of shadowing going on. Colors I feel are pretty good. But like I said, it's got that hunt and zoom. It's doing this thing constantly. You know, you move out of the camera this way, and then you come back, and it's got to do its refocusing thing. And in low light, it gets really, really bad. So, one thing I don't like about it. And then we're gonna switch over to the last but not least, the C920. Get ready for this. Bleh. So, the Logitech C920 is 1080p 30 fps, just like the Kiyo. This is straight out of the box settings. This is what you're gonna get if you actually just plug it in and try to use it. It's all right, but it's not that great. It's got a narrower point of view again. Keep in mind, I got 3 cameras on my monitor right now, so it's gonna be a little bit off perspective wise. That's not the camera's fault. That's just because there's 3 on my monitor. So, you know, you can go in and you can tweak the settings on them, and that'll change, you know, quite a bit. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna switch back to the Elgato. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this top light off, and I wanna see what it looks like in a low light with just the key light lighting me. So let's do that. So there it is. That light is off. You can clearly see now I'm like pale as a ghost. I'm really pale. I'm not this pale. I'm actually pretty tan. I go outside quite a bit. So that's kind of one thing that I'm like, but again, settings are tweakable. So having the lights off, this is how I normally stream, okay, with just the one light on. It just makes it easier to kind of isolate that green screen. I don't have any weird angle lighting or stuff. So we're gonna switch to the Kiyo, okay, and here you can see this is where this camera suffers, okay. Now it's having just a horrible time seeing me. You can see the colors don't look near as good as they did, and it's just, you know, it's blurry as all get out. Especially when you start doing this type of stuff. If you move around a lot, it's gonna just, you're gonna look like crap. Okay, that's the Kiyo. It just does this hunt thing where it's just constantly looking for you, trying to focus. The autofocus is too aggressive on it. Okay, and then we're gonna switch to the C920. So C920 in low light, it's actually a little better than, you know, just a. It actually looks better than with all the lights on in the room. So that's one thing for it. Now, keep in mind the C920. This is an old webcam. They don't even make it anymore. They've changed it to the C922, I believe. Still basically the same camera. When I got mine, I got it right as they were in that, like, okay, here's the old one, here's the new one. Okay, they wanted $100 for the C922 at the time. I got this one for 50 bucks. So if you can get this camera for, you know, $40 to $50, I would probably pick it versus the Kiyo, unless you need extra light. So that's the one thing about the Kiyo. It does have the ring light, but with the ring light, if you turn that baby on, you actually get just kind of you get a halo, especially on me. I get, because my glasses. So I'll show you that here. Okay, so with this, I'm gonna turn this ring light on. Okay, this is supposed to illuminate you, make you look better, give you more light. It doesn't. It looks like crap again. See, you can see the light in my glasses actually, right? The reflection, and it's giving me a great big old spot. And you can turn it down, but there's no indication of what you're at actually. Okay, so I prefer just to use one big key light, and I have the Air. I don't have the full size key light. Come on, camera, focus. Okay, it's not gonna focus. Anyway, straight out of the box, this camera looks way better. You can see it's got that actual 60 FPS. I love it. Who's this camera for? It's for me. I would say if you're on a budget, go with something like the Logitech. There's some other options out there that are fairly decent. I only have the 3. That's just the 3 I have. That's kind of the main. I think Razer and Logitech are both fairly big names to be included in with the Elgato category, even though the Logitech has their Stream Cam, which I think is like it's right around like $150 to $180, somewhere around there. I can't remember for sure. The Kiyo, it's anywhere from like $80 to $90 depending. So I thought the Kiyo would be better. It is a little better than the Logitech C920, but it's not great. Now, in my opinion, the way the Elgato is for people who don't have a lot of room, or they don't have the money to buy a nice, full-size camera plus a cam link and all that jazz to get it all set up. Okay, you're talking about a camera that's going to be fairly good size. I don't have the room for it. I have a very small real estate. This is as much room as I have right here, right? You can see my bed is in the background. I don't have the room for it. That's where I feel like Elgato really comes in with their camera. It's a good camera from what I can tell. I haven't tweaked the settings. It's $200, which seems expensive, but if you're really wanting to get into streaming and stuff, I feel like this is a good option. It's got the detachable USB, so if you need a longer cable, it's easy just to plug in a longer cable, and you don't have to worry about using extensions or anything like that. And it's just, to me, it just seems like a good option. I am a little pale in it. It is in a low light situation, but it's pretty darn good looking. And the best thing is all the settings that you put in the camera save to the camera. You don't have to mess with anything every time you turn it off or switch sources or whatever, right? So that for me is a huge game changer. My actual goal with this is to put the camera kind of off to the side of my monitor, so it's going to have kind of an angled look at me, and I want to move my monitors up. I hate having a big gap between my two monitors because I have my monitors stacked on top of each other, one on top of the other. Okay, but I have a gap because I need to be able to see both my screens completely, and if I raise or lower them, it covers up real estate on the top screen from the camera. And I just wanted a little bit better camera to do that with. So I do not like the mount system on it. The mount that comes with it for putting on your monitor, it's kind of janky. It's kind of, after I unscrewed it the first time, it was hard to get it repositioned and then tight to where it wouldn't just like fall over. It really was just kind of like you put it on there and it would just go boop, and it would tilt one way or the other because it wasn't tight for some reason, even though I tightened it. So I don't like that. I feel like they could make that better. But I am going to do another part just real quick. I'm going to tweak the settings, and then I'll come back and splice all these together, and then I'll show you what they look like in low light with manual settings. Okay, so that'll be in the next section. Alright, here's the other comparison video, guys. So I've went through and I've changed the manual settings on these all three of these cameras. This is as good as I can get for right now. I'm not by means any kind of a color corrector or camera setup person. I just kind of go with my gut instinct of what looks good, which might not be the same for you, because I am red-green colorblind. So a lot of times skin tones and stuff, I just kind of guess. I don't know. But this is the Razer Kiyo. You might be wondering, why are you starting with the Razer Kiyo? Well, that's because the stupid thing keeps doing what I was telling you earlier it does. Keeps changing its settings. So I decided to start with this one, and then we'll go to the Logitech, and then from there we will go to the Elgato. So this is the Razer Kiyo. Again, manual settings, focus is set manually. Looks pretty good. You can get a decent picture out of it, but it just has that problem of it just doing whatever it wants to do. So we're gonna switch over to the Logitech. So this is as good of a picture I could get out of the Logitech C920. it just doesn't have that good of a picture. And I mean, it really shouldn't, because it is a little bit cheaper, but I thought they were using the same type of a lens in them. Now I did have to like set some things to stay on automatic on this one, so specifically focus and exposure. The focus on it, if I turn that off, it just kind of doesn't work. So right now it's off, it's on manual, and I still seem blurry. I can't go any back. If I go farther, I just get way worse. You can see. And then exposure rate on this one, for whatever reason, looks much better with it on auto. I cannot get it to just look decent. You can see the autofocus there, how it kind of changes depending on the exposure, even though it's on 0. You know, it's, I don't know why it's changing. It really shouldn't be. But so this one, I just recommend leaving it on auto, on focus and exposure, and then the rest of it you can kind of tweak how you want. I don't know why the gain is so high on it. It just, I don't know. I can't get it any better. This is as good as I can get it. So that's what it looks like. Okay. Now then, we will go to the Elgato. And here we have the Elgato. So this is by far a better picture, in my opinion, than anything else there is. It looks really good. And, you know, I didn't have to tweak it that much. You know, I'm bald, so it's kind of going to be a little bit overexposed, I still think, but you know, it looks good. So the one thing about this camera that I didn't mention, it is a fixed focus camera. So as long as you're within range, I don't remember what the range is on it, you're going to be in focus no matter what. So you can move all around and you're going to be in focus. You're not going to have any of that hunt and zoom thing. And you're not going to have to worry about being like, oh, this is what we're checking out today, guys. And you're not going to have to worry about, you know, trying to autofocus, because it is fixed focus camera. You can clearly see everything, you know, is readable. It just works. I like it. I shouldn't say it just works, but it does. And then, you know, it's pretty easy to tune. It looks good, has good quality. So this, I definitely think for me, was a good investment. Still some things I want to do with different things, but I'm going to switch over. I'm going to show you what the Razer has been doing. So let's switch. Bam. See, this is what the Razer does. For whatever reason, the exposure is just like, hey, here you go. It does not stay. Does not stay. And so you have to go back into properties. You have to go to configure video. Hit OK. So you can see the preview better, because it gets in the way. Then you come over and you hit autofocus, and it's like, whoa! It's overpowering, right? And then, you know, I untick autofocus, and usually that works. And I have to knock it down. I don't know. They just don't. Or the exposure, not autofocus. The exposure. Normally, just clicking it on and off fixes it. But you can see it's got a lot of noise in the background. Whereas the Elgato doesn't have that, so there's a little bit of noise in the back corner over here, but it's not bad. Again, you know, we'll switch back to the Razer. Hey, it stayed that time. I didn't turn it off is why though. See, if I turn the source off, this is when it goes to crap. And then we switch back. See, anytime you switch scenes or sources, it does this. So just, it's dumb. The Logitech doesn't, but it's on auto because I couldn't get it to look any better. Logitech does have a software that you can use in OBS, but it doesn't work quite as good. You can't change some settings in there. There's not as much customization as far as OBS goes. The Logitech software doesn't have as much customization as the OBS controls, but a lot of times the OBS controls don't work, so I don't know why, they just don't. But anyway, that's the look at the 3 different cameras. Let me know what you guys think. This Kiyo, man, it's just disappointing, really is. And then yeah, this is just so much better. I mean, 60 FPS, look at this, look how smooth this is. You know, it's super smooth, looks so good, I love it. You know, in comparison, 30, you know, it's not bad, but it works. You know, it works as a green, as you know what you need it for. But way happier with the Elgato. And the Elgato, just like when you click the button, it just takes over. It's like, nope, I'm the superior camera, I'm taking over. So that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If I rambled on too much, that's kind of me, I ramble. I don't write a script or anything, so you know, I kind of just, sometimes I gotta remind myself, stop, get back on track, because I don't. But anyway, in the comments, let me know. Hit that like button if you like this video, and check the bell icon. Make sure you're got that on if you're subscribed. And thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy this one. You know, I was kind of looking forward to doing this comparison. I would like to do a lot more, but money is just the biggest thing. So I'll see you guys in the next one.